Morning. Pleasant good morning. The pleasure is mine to chair this information session on behalf of my colleagues, Dr. Rosemary Heath, Head of Department here at the Department of Library and Information Studies, UWI, Dr. Ruth Baker Gardner, Lecturer, Undergraduate Coordinator, and Dr. Stanley Griffin, Deputy Dean, Undergraduate Matters, Lecturer in Archival and Information Studies. Another warm welcome to you all. It's good to see you. We're via Zoom, but nonetheless, we are still in close proximity. At this point, I'm going to ask Dr. Rosemary Heath to bring us official welcome that is, and overview of the department's programs. Dr. Rosemary Heath.
Thank you, Mr. Deans. Good morning, everyone. As you would have heard, my name is Dr. Rosemary Heath, and I'm the head of department for this wonderful department that we call DLIS, short for the Department of Library and Information Studies, housed here at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. Now, our department is the only such in the University of the West Indies, and so there is no Department of Library and Information Studies on the other campuses of the University of the West Indies. It means, therefore, that we are the premier training institution for library and information professionals across the Caribbean. We know that there are others around, but we do stand out as the main go-to when you want to be trained in this profession. Actually, our mission does indicate that we have a mandate to train persons across the Caribbean. A number of your colleagues would have benefited from this wonderful experience of having studied in our department. And I'm sure you would have heard from them how awesome and how meaningful that experience was. And some of you might have studied with us already. Perhaps you would have done your undergraduate degree and you want to hear more about the postgraduate offerings. We are here to give you all of that information today. The thing is that the DLIS is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Yes, we started in 1971. And so there will be a lot of celebration taking place. And this is the year, therefore, for you to enter, to be a part of that awesome experience. We are going to be telling you about some programs that you probably, or some opportunities that you probably didn't even know existed. And some of you might have sat down for quite a while with your current qualification, thinking, oh, going forward is probably impossible for me. It's not something I can take on now or anytime soon. But the truth is, everyone, it doesn't really matter what you do with your life. The time is going to pass anyhow. And so you have to set some personal goals and ask yourselves, where do we want to be later in another 4 years? Ask yourself personally, where would I want to be in another 4 years? Set your goals and work towards them. I'm pretty sure that for many of you, you want upward mobility within your organization. You want to position yourselves to seek for other possible employment opportunities elsewhere.
Oh, my first street number. I don't know myself. 40.
Dr. Heath.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how that happened. I was muted. Right. So I'm saying many of you, even for self-actualization or just for continuing professional development will want to study further. So here we are. We have brought it to you, brought the opportunities to you, and we are about to tell you what we have to offer. I implore you, think about starting a program with us in January, and if not January, August of the next academic year, the beginning of the next academic year. But we are here to serve you, and we encourage you to just think about our department and become a part of this wonderful family. I will hand over to Mr. Deans, who will take it from here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heath, for that warm welcome and very informative overview. At this point, we're going to welcome Mrs. Jenna Sandiford Monday, President of the Library Association of Trinidad and Tobago, who will bring us greetings. And following her remarks, we will be hearing from Mrs. Tricia Powell, Director, User Services and Conservation, National Library of Jamaica. So with no further ado, we welcome Mrs. Jenna Monday.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Quick correction, I'm the Secretary of the Library Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Our president is Ms. Beverly Ann Williams.
Thank you.
Yes, sure. Right, so I am here to represent LAT as its secretary. And of course, LAT is pleased to collaborate with the Department of Library and Information Studies of the University of West Indies Mona campus to share in its information about the programs of study. And from my experience, exciting, and most importantly, it is impactful. And as an association and continuity of our
Ms. Monday, it seems as though your reception is rather poor. Don't know if you're hearing us. Okay, we're...
It's Ms. Williams on? I know I saw her.
Yes, I am, Jenna. Hi, good day, colleagues.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Apologies.
Miss, I don't know if it was my reception, Miss Monday. We seem to
Yes.
lost for a few minutes but I think, yes, want to thank you though. Miss Monday, do you want to just reiterate quickly what you had said before, just in a sentence or two, if you're still with us? Yes.
I just want, of course, yes. So I just said that, we are pleased to partner with the department, and we have utmost confidence in the quality of the programs that are being offered. And so I don't know if Ms. Williams had something brief.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful, Ms. Williams.
Well, good morning, colleagues, and good morning to the LAT executive and all the wonderful library and information professionals who are in, all 52 of you all, actually, 52 of us. I don't have anything else to add, really. Jenna would have covered what, and cover the essence of what the association executive would have had to say. And let's get the show on the road, and let's hear, let's do what we are here to do. Yeah.
I like that. Let's get the show on the road. I love that. Getting the show on the road will now turn our time to Mrs. Powell. You have the floor.
Good day, team. Special good morning from Kingston, Jamaica, the cool Kingston, Jamaica. It is indeed a pleasure to bring greetings from the National Library of Jamaica. Special mention is being extended to Dr. Rosemary Heath, Dr. Ruth Baker Gardner, Mr. Deans, staff of the DLIS and by extension UWI, colleagues, current and prospective students, greetings. The National Library is excited about this series of engagement because it certainly adds value to our strategic imperatives as we seek to sustain our profession, the research, access, preservation, and conservation agenda of the Jamaica Library and Information Network, JAMLIN, will never achieve its objective without people. It is our current, new, and emerging talents that will execute successfully the task ahead and likewise advocate and advance prosperity, and sustainability. What I'm seeing here today and hear about that will happen today from a personal and professional lens is by far one of the most impactful actions that is being promulgated. And this promulgated profession as it underpins and propels all our key performance indicators. As without our people or professional, the business continuity plan for all libraries and information units will be derailed. We are not operating under normal circumstances, but one thing's for sure, and as always remains the same, is that structured information drives the desired decisions. And if it is therefore, and we know as a profession that it is us who have the information and the knowledge at our fingertips. And the more we train and develop our people in this regard, Jamaica, the rest of the region will win. As we advance and change our curriculum to include knowledge of disruptive technologies, such as artificial intelligence, this profession will be well positioned to win in the battlefield. I thank the DLIS on behalf of the National Library and the Board of Management and encourage everyone on this call to tell somebody and to do so with grace, wit, pride, and commitment. Make it personal. The NLJ commits to continue encouraging and supporting its employees and to make library and information profession one of choice. And I trust that you will do so too. Have a great session. Cheers to the next and many successful years ahead, because DLIS would have helped to develop, shape, and train the most epitomized set of professionals, and I'm proud to be one of them. Happy 50th anniversary, DLIS, and greetings from the National Library of Jamaica. Big up. Thank you, colleagues.
And thank you, Mrs. Powell. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Mrs. Monday and Ms. Williams. We now turn over the time to Dr. Ruth Baker Gardner. Dr. Baker Gardner, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I am super excited this morning. This is our third session, and it is my pleasure to be able to walk you through what we do best at DLIS, what we've been commissioned to do by UNESCO and the countries of the Caribbean, the different territories, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago.
Baby have to have her say. Baby need to have her say.
Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica, who initially signed the agreement with UNESCO for the establishment of DLIS. In October 1971, we started our program at DLIS with the Bachelor of Arts. And today, our domain expands into 5 disciplines and professions. So we have information studies in the Caribbean, where we train archivists, records managers, social media, content managers, curators, and librarians. Now, we have primarily been known as a library school, but the past 5 years have been extremely good to us. And so we have expanded our reach. Now, those are just job categories because job titles within each of these differ significantly. So what is information studies? It includes archival studies, library studies, museum studies, and records management, and applies the principles, perspectives, and tools of management, information technology, information preservation, history and cultural heritage to the creation, collection, organization, preservation, and dissemination of information resources. Now you hear museum studies, and this is where DLIS is currently going. So we have been known for our library studies program. We've branched off into archival studies and records management. And yes, we're going for museum studies. So information studies brings together a variety of theoretical perspectives or approaches. It is focused on the interpretation of information. And this information represents the documentary and cultural evidence of society. We also focus on technologies and organizations through which information becomes accessible. And there's emphasis on the peoples of the Caribbean and its diaspora and the ways in which they create, engage with, preserve, and disseminate information. Now, previously, our students used to travel to other places in the world for LIS education, but one of the significant challenges with that was that it did not reflect the Caribbean realities. Hence, DLIS was born. So in terms of undergraduate programs, which I coordinate, we have the Bachelor of Arts in Librarianship, which is online and face-to-face. And so if you're in Trinidad this morning, you don't have to come physically to us at Mona anymore. You can sit anywhere you are in Trinidad and pursue our programs that are online. There's a Bachelor of Arts in Information Studies. It's currently face-to-face, but going online soon. So if you're interested in that degree, you can still apply for it, even if you are not in Jamaica and have no plans to come. Now, the Bachelor of Arts in Librarianship does what it says it should. The Bachelor of Arts in Information Studies is a multidisciplinary program that prepares our students to go into either the records management program or the AARCM, the records management, the archival, or the museum program. No, this person who pursues the information studies can also choose to go into one of the library masters. Then we have the Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, which is currently face-to-face, but this will change sometime in the future. For entry into the undergraduate program, normal entry is 5 CSEC subjects, including English A and 2 CAPE units. Now, if you want to get into the Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, you will need to have those 5 CSEC subjects, your 2 CAPE units, but you must have a pass in CSEC Maths. And there's lower matriculation, which is 5 CSEC subjects. For lower matriculation, you have to begin part-time and then upgrade to full-time. And then there's mature entry, and that's for persons who have worked in the information sector, have amassed considerable experience, but do not have the 5 CSEC subjects that is required for lower matriculation. As long as you have English, if you have 1 or 2 other subjects, you can apply, and they will do an assessment of your work experience to determine whether or not you can enter into the program. Now, that mature entry is just for entry. The program is the same once you get in. So it's not like those who come on mature entry will do a different program. It's the same program. It's just your entryway into the program. Admissions is done in January and August, and admissions opens its application session in October, November. Now, we're currently in the application period, and applications for January, for entry in January, will close on November 15. However, if you still desire to come in, but you apply after November 15, just drop us a line and we'll work with you. In order to apply for the undergraduate program, you can go to the DLIS website, and there's a link there that will take you to admissions. And there's also a video online to assist you with the application process. So you have made up your mind, you have decided that DLIS is where you want to be for the next 3 or 5 years. What you need to do is complete and submit the application. It's done 100% online. You have to upload your supporting documents, and these can be verified by a JP, or if you're near to an open campus site, you can just go to that open campus site and just verify your documents. Or you can come to UWI Mona, or if you're in Jamaica, you can go to the Montego Bay campus. You should get a letter saying your application was received. That's after you submit everything. And after you have done your submissions and you have gotten your letter, after a little while and you have processed your application, an offer will be sent. When that offer is sent, you need to respond by accepting the offer. Now, can I encourage you that if you apply, one of the things you need to do too is to check your spam folder, because sometimes institutional mail goes to a spam folder, especially if you're not on a regular mailing list. If you submit an application and you are not getting any reasonable response, any response after a reasonable time, just contact the department. All right, these are the fees, the annual fees for our program, the BA program. And these fees are quoted in Jamaican dollars. So if you are, and so you need to do the conversion if you're in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you are interested in information studies, want to come part-time for 5 years, that's $191,000. If you're interested in full-time for 3 years, that's $326,000, sorry, and these fees are for 2021-22. All right, online is a bit more expensive than face-to-face because the fees will have to include proctoring for exams. Since you don't come to Mona, wherever you are, your exams will have to be sent to you. Somebody will have to invigilate the exam that you are sitting, and the papers will have to be sent back to Mona. So there's an extra cost for that. All right, the program lasts 3 years full-time and it's part-time 5 years. Enrollment status can change. I said previously that if you have only 5 CSEC, you come in under what is known as lower matriculation and you have to start part-time. As long as you have acquired 15 credits, you can change your status from part-time to full-time. Now, the program is 30 courses or 90 credits. So each year you do 10 courses if you're full-time. If you're part-time, each year you do 5 courses, and that will take you 5 years. Sorry, each year you do 6 courses and that takes you 5 years. No, if you are part-time and want to shorten that 5 years, what you can do is take courses during the summer, and that will cut down significantly on the number of years you'll spend. Over to Dr. Heath.
Thank you, Dr. Baker-Gardner. So I'm going to tell you now about our graduate programs. Currently, we offer aside from the MPhil PhD program, which I'll tell you about separately, we have 3 master's programs. The Master of Arts in Library and Information Studies, we call it the MALIS. The Master of Library and Information Studies, MLIS, and the Master of Arts in Archives and Records Management, we call it ARCM. The MPhil is the Master of Philosophy that you can segue from the MPhil into the PhD program. So normally we advertise it as the MPhil PhD in Information Studies, but some persons might terminate at MPhil. All graduate programs are offered face-to-face and online. So like most of the undergraduate programs, you are able to stay in your country and do a complete degree without ever setting foot physically on the Mona campus. First of all, let us talk about the MALIS. This program is geared towards providing postgraduate qualification to persons who would have done an undergraduate degree in librarianship or information studies or library and information studies. It's ideally, you need to have a lower second class honors degree, but if you have a degree that is lower than the lower second class honors, it is possible, not automatic, it is possible for you to be considered for acceptance. However, you will not be able to come straight into the master's program. You will be asked to spend a year doing qualifying courses. So certain courses will be identified for you to do, and you will come in under what we call specially admitted status. So you come in just to do the 2 or 3 courses that you are assigned. And if you do well in them, you then apply to come in as a full master's student. When you do that, you can then apply to transfer the credits from the courses you would have done as a specially admitted student to your regular master's program. So if you don't have a lower second class honors, it doesn't mean you cannot enter. It might take you a year longer than others, but you can still be considered. Next slide. Okay, so let us say you come in for the full program. From the start, you would have started as an MALIS student. You will spend 1 year completing 10, if you are full-time, you'll spend 1 year completing 10 courses, and then an additional year completing your research paper. So it will take approximately 2 years, provided you complete the research paper within that 1 year period. Many people tend to go over the 1 year, but we have actually slotted a year for the research paper. If you come in part-time, you'll be doing 2 years, 2 initial years, within which time you're expected to cover those 10 courses that the full-time person would have covered in 1 year. So by the time you complete the 2 years as a part-time student, you will have completed 10 courses, and then you will spend the next year working on your research paper. So you would have done 3 years. Next slide. Good. So this is just putting it in a nutshell. Then we have the Master in Library and Information Studies, the MLIS. This master's degree was designed for persons who would have done their bachelor's in another field outside of library and information studies, but might be interested for one reason or another in becoming a part of this profession. You might have gained employment in a library information unit. You might just be introduced to it by somebody who is in it already, and it sounds like something you would want to take up or something. Once you have a first degree in any other field, this is the master's program for you. Like the MALIS, you need to have at least a lower second class honors at the bachelor's level, and the same rules would apply, the same principles. You can be considered for special admission, doing individual courses, and then coming in to take on the course itself. It's 2 years full-time or 3 years part-time. Now, this is dependent on whether you choose option A or option B. Unlike the MALIS, the MLIS student has the ability to choose whether he or she wants to terminate with a research paper or what we call an independent study. What's the difference? The research paper, as I have told you, is a 1 year, we expect you to take 1 year to complete it, and it's a 6-credit course. However, if you do the independent study will be a 3-credit course, but you will have to do an additional course to the 10 courses that you would need to do to complete your program. You'll have to do an additional course, which will, when added to the 3 credits for the independent study, amount to the same 6 credits that the research paper would cover. The research paper is what it says it is. You are going to spend the year conducting research and putting it together as a thesis to be graded. The independent study does not take you through the rigors of the research paper, but rather is I like to say it's an extensive lit review / essay. And so it's an argument that you are presenting in the independent study. It does not include conducting research, so you don't have to have a chapter with presentation of findings and discussion of findings and all of that. You are simply presenting an issue that you are discussing, and you are presenting an argument surrounding that issue, supported by what others have to say about it. You also do field work along with your research paper in order to complete your program. But the MALIS students do not do field work. Now, the fees that you see here are for the academic year. I won't bother to go through them individually, except to emphasize the fact that these fees are for 2021, 2022. There's no guarantee when the academic year changes where the fees will go. So it's best if you're interested in starting any program, to start them as quickly as possible. Now, I told you earlier about specially admitted, meaning the specially admitted status, which means that you would have come in to do individual courses. These are the current fees for specially admitted students. And of course, if you are from a non-contributing territory, Trinidad and Tobago is a contributing territory, but if you know anybody who wants to start and the person is from a non-contributing territory, the fees are going to be different. The MA in Archives and Records Management, this is Dr. Griffin's baby. Is Dr. Griffin on?
No, he's not.
No, so I will try to present it as best as possible. The ARCM program is, the objective of the ARCM program is to equip students for professional leadership roles in archives and records management. It includes defining, appraising, managing records, processing archives, preserving materials in tropical environments, managing audiovisual materials, and curating digital assets. Students will learn and practice internationally established principles and contemporary best practices. So basically, it's a very current course. It takes into consideration what is happening it has a historical basis. And so you find that people who have done history over time, who have done studies in history, will gravitate towards this program. Not only those persons, but I believe because of the close relationship between ARCM and history, many historians tend to have great interest in this program. Also, librarians who find themselves working in archives and record centers tend to want to do it because they need the professional qualification, although their degree in librarianship might have helped them to get their job initially. You'll find that you need this kind of grounding. Archival studies basically focuses on a lot of memory, a lot of record keeping, and various systems that are involved in this whole matter of record keeping. And so records are extremely important. A lot of people don't even realize it. Many of us have records at home and don't realize the value of them. Some of us will have love letters that our parents or grandparents would have written each other way back in the day, and we don't even, probably we have a shoebox full of them, what our grandfather wrote to our grandmother. We don't even realize that this is precious, material. This is something that we need to preserve. We have our own family archives and don't even realize it. Photographs from years before. And so this program helps us to appreciate these things, the value of records, and how we can go about preserving them and making them meaningful to generations of generations to come. So we focus on the Caribbean, and so everything that we do in this program surrounds the Caribbean approach, Caribbean take to archival principles and records management principles. So we look at Caribbean record keeping, Caribbean history and culture, post-colonial and cultural theory, information, communication, and society. Also, as it regards records and archives, we look at fundamentals of records and archives, records management in the digital age, acquisition, organization, and use of archival materials, community archives and archival advocacy. And there's also the issue of preservation, where we examine preservation of archival materials in tropical environments, managing audiovisual media, digital curation. There is a 6-week internship in ARCM institutions as a part of this program, and you culminate with a research paper. The MPhil and PhD in information studies, as I told you earlier, is usually viewed as one program because most people start at the MPhil, where they do an upgrade, what you call an upgrade session. And if they are successful, they are then deemed as being a part of the PhD program. And so they will culminate with a PhD in information studies. If you culminate at the Master of Philosophy level, the MPhil level, you're expected to write a 40,000 word thesis. However, a culmination at the doctoral level, where you will leave with a PhD in information studies, you're expected to write a dissertation of 80,000 words. The following are eligible to apply for registration for the MPhil PhD degree. Graduates of any university holding the master's degree in archival studies, library studies, museum studies, or an equivalent degree, or a Bachelor of Arts degree, such as Library and Information Studies, having obtained no lower than an upper second class honors degree. Of course, you know, this is with special consideration. Most times, it is the person with the first class honors degree who is, according to the general university stipulation, automatically, well, not automatically, but most likely to be considered for the PhD program. Students who have, for the MPhil PhD program, students who have obtained other suitable academic and/or professional qualifications and experience. Acceptance into the MPhil PhD Information Studies program shall depend on assessment of the student's past education, performance, and experience, as well as the department's capacity to provide adequate supervision. So it's understood that we are not, it's not necessarily so easy to get into, but it is something that you should explore if you are so inclined. So at the moment, we have 4 students in the MPhil PhD program. You see them there. And then to the top left-hand corner, we have Professor Jeanette Bastian, who is the general, she lectures and she holds the program together. Dr. Stanley Griffin, to the top right-hand corner, is our coordinator for the program and works very closely with Professor Bastian in ensuring that our MPhil PhD candidates complete in time and have a successful journey through this program. And you can see some of the titles that are being considered at the moment. This is the first cohort of the newly, or of the revamped program, because it existed for quite a while, but was lying dormant for some years. And we basically brought it back to life and renamed it the MPhil PhD in Information Studies. What do we have in the pipeline? Now, these are exciting things, and they're actually being worked on at the moment. The first thing is that we are exploring the whole idea of being accredited through CILIP, that's the Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals. CILIP, of course, you know, operates out of Britain. And CILIP accreditation brings excitement to the department, or the possibility of CILIP accreditation brings excitement to the department because it will offer our students or graduates the opportunity to have their qualification recognized in Canada, the US, Britain, and Australia. And what it means, therefore, it's not that it's not recognized at the moment, but you know that if you apply for a job in those countries, they are going to put your qualification through a lot of scrutiny, and they're going to match it up against theirs and all that kind of thing. When you have CILIP accreditation, it is recognized immediately, and your being employed is going to be almost seamless. Postgraduate diplomas are coming on stream. These postgraduate diplomas will offer to persons the ability to receive postgraduate training without have to go the full 9 yards of the master's program. So the postgraduate diplomas will not include internship, and they will not include the research paper, etc. These, however, will be recognized as you having received postgraduate training, and so they will help you to move up in your organization, etc. The Bachelor of Arts in Librarianship and Education is on its way as well. So persons who work in schools or who just want this double qualification, because what you're getting is 2 professions in one. You will be trained as a teacher and you will also be trained as a librarian. This is going to be exciting. And so I know, and the education component is supported by the education curricula across the Caribbean. And so you can be trained here in education and work in education in your country. So this will be an awesome experience. All of these are expected to come on board by 2022, if we continue at the same pace. You may contact us. The information is here. And what about accreditation from ALA? Thank you so much for that question. We contacted ALA first. ALA told us that they only accredit within the United States of America. And so because CILIP accreditation allows you to work in the United States anyhow, we, along with many other countries, first world countries, we approached CILIP and they so kindly agreed to explore the possibility of accrediting our programs. So you won't miss anything if you intend to work in the US and you get accreditation from CILIP. Thank you so much. It is now time for questions. I'll hand over to, is it Mr. Deans?
Thank you, Dr. Heath. We are about to go into the question and answer segment, but just before we do so, I want to just allow the audience to hear from a current student in the Masters of Archives and Records Management program. And so I'm going to invite Ms. Roma Wang-Sang to address us at this point. Roma, you're with us?
Yes, I did see
that. Yes. Good morning to all. And
Morning.
I am the candidate for the MLIS. I do have a master's in archives and records management. So I know the little mix up, that's okay. But just to congratulate, before I start, the DLIS on its 50th anniversary. I think you are at an important juncture in the field of information studies, COVID and after COVID. So congratulations on that significant achievement. So I would just like to share my journey. I'm almost to the end of my, sorry, I did not put on my video. Why it's not, sorry, hold on. My video is not, okay. Are you seeing me?
We can see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. My journey thus far has been quite a fulfilling experience, and I'd like to say it has met all my expectations in terms of retooling skills for library, and of course, as a complement to my archives and records management degree, as well as studies in museum studies. But what I'd like to say though, initially when I was looking to do some sort of professional development, I was not really looking for a master's course per se, having had gone through the rigors of one, but I was really looking for professional development courses. I searched far and wide, and could not find anything. And of course, I stumbled upon DLIS, and I looked at the course outline, and I saw that it met all the requirements that I was looking for, because in the field of library, I've started my work in 2001, when automation of libraries, ILS, was now coming out, and digital libraries and repositories were now beginning to evolve. But I found in the courses that they were inspired by a lot of IT initiatives. So we had information technology, digital library, ILS systems and whatnot. So I said, okay, why not consider that? And lo and behold, I'm in the program and I'm realizing I got more than I bargained for. So it's a price of free. I can say I got more than my bargain's worth, and other courses along the way. In terms of what I like most importantly about this program that you all are offering is the agility to which you have been able to really respond to all the changes within the environment. And I know with COVID, you've been able to respond even more. The online, I have done the online program, and it is, I will really recommend that program at your convenience. It's not a rigorous program. The teaching staff, they're very flexible. And what I do like about the course is that they're practitioners who are actually teaching the course. So it's not pie in the sky theory, it's real hands-on that you're getting in your field. Of course, our field has many challenges, but you're able to understand what those challenges are and help come up with those solutions to address those challenges. One of the other aspects, again, the agility, is the teaching methodologies that are being used. So it's not just, right, get your research done and read and read and read, but there are videos, there are group presentations, there are individual and group presentation, there's group work. So what that would encourage really, it mirrors what happens in the real world of work, where you have to work in teams. So you need to understand the dynamics, the group dynamics from early, of how you present your issues or come up with solutions. So hats off to the team at DLIS in terms of moving forward and responding. And the good news is that they will be developing professional development postgraduate, and perhaps even one-off courses they can maybe consider moving ahead, because we're at an age where we need to constantly retool in our field. There's so much competition out there in terms of our skills. I mean, the internet is there, everyone could go there and get information. What is the added value do we bring as information professionals? And I do not see myself necessarily as an archivist or a librarian or a records manager, but I really consider myself as an information professional. And my first degree really was in communications. So I see myself as information communications professional, where I'm able to leverage information to reach the users at the right time when they need it and package it and that sort of thing. So that's the value. The information field is changing. And I think as people who may be entering the field, you need to know it's not just about managing books or managing records, but there are other soft skills you would need. The information technology skills are really important. So again, DLIS does offer those courses to support you. Other skills, I know they will be helping to introduce communication skills, of course, are very important. Graphic design skills, using social media. We are in the digital age, so how do we transition very quickly from paper-based to digital, the digital age, and digital record keeping or archiving or libraries. So it's an exciting time, I think, to be in the information field. I started in 2001. Managing 2 libraries, but I wore the cap of an information and communication specialist, where I had to actually take the information, package it, whether it's research guides, bibliographies, listservs, etc., and share information to the different users that you have. So it's very important to understand the environment, and this course will ground you in that and let you know. The information trends course that I'm doing with Dr. Ruth Baker Gardner is excellent. The information talks initiative that the department has introduced, they have not said anything about that, but I think those are marvelous sessions to share information and keep you updated on what is happening in your field and the latest trends in information management. So for those of you who are maybe just sitting on the fence, trying to decide, should I or should I not, hopefully you will be encouraged And we are willing to answer all your questions. I know the library staff, they are here, the teaching staff, and those who already have taken the decision to come on board, congratulations. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Roma. All right.
Let me just say, Dr. Baker Gardner, thank you, Roma, for reminding us about info talks, especially because the next one will be today at 1 o'clock. Yes. Info talks, ladies and gentlemen, is a session that the DL, a free 1 hour, well, an hour and a half, basically, every Wednesday, so that persons from anywhere at all can become a part of that experience. We have different people presenting every Wednesday, and it's basically just people in the field who talk about their research, various topics that impact our field and are exciting to library and information professionals, or just anybody at all who is curious about what we do. And so we are inviting you to be a part of it. If you can return at 1 o'clock to today, we have yet another such session. Oh dear, the link, is it the same link, Dr. Baker Gardner?
Yes.
Is this
no,
same?
No, not this link. We can send the link to that.
The link is 429. The meeting ID is 429-369-077. Let me repeat that. 429. Oh, thank you very much. So you can come in and just be a part of it. You listen and then you ask your questions and you share with the presenters, etc. Looking forward to having you later. Over to you, Dr. Baker Gardner.
Thank you very much. I sent the link for info talk. I think I sent it to Ms. Sandiford. I'm not sure, but if not, I'll send it.
Today is from Belize, by the way. He'll be talking about Belizean.
And our presenters come from across the world, really. I want to make 2 additions to the presentation. The fees that you see on those slides are fees for the year. So if you're coming, you divide those fees into 2 and pay by the semester. The fees can be further divided because UWI has payment plans where you pay a certain amount and you can pay for the month. The fees are in Jamaican dollars. All right. The Herfa spoke about accreditation from ALA. I just want to say that our degrees have been taken to the United States and they have withstood the rigors of the assessment of the United States system. ALA has assessed our degree and commended us that our degree is of such high quality. So without the accreditation, your degree is still valuable in the United States. All right, I'll take the questions now, but before I launch into the questions, please register. There's a registration link that's in the chat. We'll send you the PowerPoint presentation afterwards. We'll just email it to you because that registration information includes your email address. All right, so we'll take questions now. Any questions? We have covered everything. No questions? Do you want to ask the question in the chat? Yes.
Hi, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Quite loudly, quite clearly.
Oh, very good. So I was wondering, what is the duration and cost for the MPhil program? And I have one other question. If you already have an information on library studies and you want to get into the MPhil program, can you give us a little more detail about that?
All right, Nicole, we'll communicate with you personally regarding that. Right, Nicole?
Yes, hi.
Yes, we'll communicate with you personally regarding that using your email address on the registration form.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Next person, any other question? I see that since Caris left us, she has become a little girl. No other questions? Want to put them in the chat?
Good day, everyone. Hi, Dr. Baker Gardner. Caris here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
I don't have questions, but I would just like to commend all of the faculty and staff of the DLIS. The time that I spent with you all was very rewarding, and all of my friends who are in Trinidad and elsewhere who are interested in programs, I have been advocating for them to come to you guys instead of going to other universities, because the content that is available, it is so valuable to the Caribbean experience. And we need to further build our people. And this program, all of the programs in the that the DLIS offers allows that to happen, to build the professionalism and of our country, our people, and the Caribbean as a whole. So everyone who is interested, I will, support you 100% in signing up for the DLIS programs. You will not regret it.
Thank you very much. So we must have been doing something good, right, Dr. Heath? All right, no other questions? Over to you, Dr. Heath, to close off. Just a reminder, my last plug, please remember to put your name and your contact details in the chat. We are going back face-to-face when the university goes back face-to-face, but we still maintain our online mode for all programs.
We have always had that online mode, even when we were, the university was
pre-COVID.
Yeah, we have always had. So the fact that we are offering online programs has nothing to do with COVID. It was very easy for us actually when COVID struck to, make the adjustment, unlike some other departments that were fully face-to-face. We had everything set up already for online. The only difference was that our face-to-face students now had to join online with the online students, but we're good to go on that. I think I saw another question. How are the exams assessed and what provisions are in place for individuals with disabilities? Well, when we are not in the COVID era, exams are usually face-to-face. Most of our courses, there are some courses that are assessed using 100% coursework, the 100% coursework model, but then there are others that are assessed using a sit-down exam model. So the exam either values 40%, 50%, or 60%, depending on the course. So the rest of the percentage is examined using coursework. During the COVID pandemic, this department has gone 100% coursework with every single course at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. However, we do not expect that this will continue post-COVID. We are going to revert to the original coursework exam model. So those persons who are online, however, you would have heard Dr. Baker Gardner speak about a proctoring fee. What it means is that you sit the exam at a center in your country that the university of that Mona campus would have made arrangement with. So and then your papers are sent via courier to Jamaica to our exam center, and the exam center sends it to us for marking. So it is face-to-face, but let me see, you asked another part of the question. What is in place for individuals with disabilities? It's going to be different depending on what the disabilities are. Though there is a center on this campus, physical center for persons who are visually impaired, etc., where the students who need assistance in doing their exams are able to go to that center and are invigilated separately, okay, by trained persons, persons who are trained in handling disabilities. However, if you have a disability and you are an online student, the university would have to make, if you need special assistance, you would have to make us know far in advance so that the university can make the necessary arrangements to accommodate your special situation. I hope I have answered adequately.
There are some questions on the registration form that I'd like to take, Dr. Heath.
Yes, Dr. Baker Gardner, please go right ahead while I scout.
It says, I would like to know if I would have to register for the bachelor's or if I would be considered for the master's program based on having an advanced diploma in human resource management. That's something that would have to be assessed. So my response to that is that it is something that would have to be assessed. Next question, what is the cost and duration of the program for someone with an MSc in information science? Now, someone with an MSc in information science sounds like they need to go into the MPhil program. When we're sending out the slides, we could add the MPhil PhD fees to the slides. They are not currently on it. So since we have persons out there with that kind of interest, we'll add that to the slides before we send them out today. Somebody wants to know if DLIS is offering scholarships. Not sure I can answer that one. Leon, or one of you other ladies who work in DLIS, maybe that's some homework that you guys could do. Check out if DLIS is willing to offer scholarships to those who want to do the program.
Good morning, if I may,
okay.
If I may come in, this is Paula Green, Executive Director, Acting of DLIS.
Welcome, ma'am.
Congratulations, thank you so much. Congratulations to DLIS. I know we've been working with Ms. Dr. Baker Gardner and Mr. Dave Jeffrey as well, and some of the programs, the internship programs for the most part. Yes. Thank you again for reaching out to the library and information community with regard to this particular session. I felt it was an excellent one, which we would have submitted to all of our staff members, encouraging business to be a part of it. With regard to the question at issue, we are currently not offering scholarships to members of staff. We do have scholarships that we would have offered in the past. That is currently under review with the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And when and if such time that is approved by the government, we will thereafter offer additional scholarships. What we have been looking at in recent years is that same Caribbean context in terms of library and information science, which is why I personally have been looking at the program being offered by Mona, because I felt it was really excellent to offer to our persons going forward. Before, we would have concentrated most of our scholarships to universities in the United States, Canada, Wales for the most part, right? So we are looking at what is on offer from Mona, and I must say I am really, really, really excited about what you all are offering. In fact, I've been having some side conversations in the midst of your presentations with regard to questions that we have to come forward to you with consideration for, you know, the persons who are employed at DLIS and who would be interested in certain elements of the Mona program. But right now, I can tell you, we are not offering any scholarships at this point in time But we do have these are conversations that we still have going forward. And in the interim, we're encouraging persons to register for the program at Mona. Right, so again, thank you kindly. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful session. I'm glad to see the number of persons who are here today, and the explanations for the various programs were really, really, really on point today. But with regard to the scholarship, we will let our people know going forward what is possible in this area, but excellent programs.
And thank you so much as well for being on board. We really appreciate.
You're very welcome.
We're seeing here that somebody is asking if the postgraduate diplomas will be offered online. Yes, because you will be doing the same courses as those persons who are pursuing the master's degrees. So it's just that you will not be going the full 9 yards. So all the courses that they are doing, you will be doing them too. Just not as many. Okay, that one was answered. Okay, so I think we've basically covered the questions. If there are no further questions or comments.
Dr. Heath,
yes,
please allow me personally in this kind of forum to say thank you to the Executive Director of DLIS. One, for gracing us with her presence. We are supremely honored to have her. And two, she has been very, very helpful to me in terms of collecting information across the library systems of the Caribbean. I mean, I've been back and forth with DLIS, and she has been very, very helpful. She and her team, they have been very helpful, even in terms of pulling together all the data on school libraries in Trinidad for me. So we are on to a good thing. We're on to a good partnership. It can only get better.
And we will have to find a way of somewhat seeing how we can establish firmly. I know that DLIS is known about in Trinidad and in the other Caribbean territories, but we have to find a formal way of establishing this partnership going forward. And so you'll be hearing more from us in terms of this kind of approach to the training of library and information professionals. We are the premier library and information training institution for the Caribbean. And so the Caribbean needs to know that we are here and to appreciate that we are here to serve those persons in the Caribbean. So we will have a long-standing relationship going forward. We look forward to that.
And if I may comment on that, thank you again, Dr. Baker Gardner and Dr. Heath, for at least for bringing that arrangement that we've had and that communication that we've been having over the past couple of years or so, and before even my time with DLIS. Definitely one of the things that we are looking at with regard to this particular program, all of the programs that are being held with UWI Mona, is to have that type of conversation going forward in terms of partnership, because I would have been speaking with our team just this week in terms of the internship programs that we've been working with Mr. Dean Jeffrey on as well, to formalize those arrangements so that we can have more students coming through DLIS to be able to get that real world experience with regard to library and information science and how it works in our context here in Trinidad and Tobago. I was also having a conversation with the president of LAT, Ms. Beverly Williams, who is my colleague here at DLIS as well, where we would be looking at collaborations with all three organizations and other organizations that we are also having conversations with, to have those partnerships going forward, because we really do feel that local Caribbean context is very important to us, more so now as we are all navigating a very uncertain environment, one, and two, the fact that we need to raise the level of the education within the Caribbean. you know, and the exposure, the publicity for those programs within the Caribbean. You know, we've been, you know, competing with so many different areas. Many of us would have done our degrees in so many different places, but it's time now to hone in on the talents that we have in the Caribbean, on the skills that we have here, on that body of knowledge that we have here in the Caribbean as well. So, you know, I'm really, really excited going forward for NALIS on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of our colleagues here in Trinidad and Tobago, not just in NALIS, but we have a very, very strong partnership with the University of the West Indies in St. Augustine, with CUSTAT, and National Archives and many other institutions. And we want to have those type of conversations going forward. So thank you all again for really reaching out to us, and we will continue to work with you, of course. And we would have some other sessions where we would reach out to you one-on-one to have, outside of the session, to have some further discussion. So thank you all again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. So with nothing else, with no further questions, no further comments, let me just thank you. We are grateful for your company this morning. We hope we have covered the bases. We know that some of you will be starting with us in January and some in August, or some in the years to come. We look forward to having you. We are, you know, we are a family, and we always embrace, we are always willing and ready to embrace new members of the family. So please think about it, think about us, and get on board as quickly as you can. We are ready and willing. We are waiting to embrace you. Once again, thanks for coming. It was our pleasure to have had you. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Goodbye.
I'm putting in the final plug if you have not yet registered, so we can send you the information. Please complete the registration. Thank you all very much. See you soon at DLIS.